Hello, I'm Brett, one half of Beyond Lit, and this is a Beyond Lit podcast mini series, episode 3. The first two episodes, we talked about how to market yourself and what to say when you reach out, so make sure you go and watch those videos. The first video, how to market yourself, teaches you a lot of stuff about the insights in the music industry and overall being an artist in any industry. In the other episode, What to Say When You Reach Out, teaches you a whole process for communicating with other artists, with fans, and all sorts of people in the industry, and gives you a whole step by step guide and how to communicate and what to say. Like, where do you go next? Because after you get through the icebreakers, it can be difficult. So go and check those videos out. This episode will be about how to find your audience as an artist. So this time a year ago, me and my brother made a Spotify. On it, we've got about 15,000 plays in the last year. That is mostly through organic reach. I didn't do any personal marketing to any of my friends, and neither did he. So that is all just finding new people and new fans that will connect with the music. As far as content production, I've made a little over 1,000 videos on this channel and across multiple other YouTube channels. So I've definitely learned a few things about what works and what doesn't. The three things we'll break down in this video about how to find your audience as an artist will be what content does best, how to find where your content will succeed, and tips for making the best content. So the first category we'll break down is what content does best. So since the new digital media age began with TikTok, all of the other social media platforms have followed and copied exactly what it did right. And what that was, and that is that algorithms, instead of being social first, following popularized channels or popular people, all these social medias were about social first content and what would do well socially and creating interactions with each other and creating community. Now it's all about interest based content, and community comes after that. So what that means is that the interests you have, the social medias will take your data on all the interests you have, all everything you've searched, everything you've done, your entire footprint, and they will make your algorithm based on what your interests are. It'll break it down by categories, by hobbies, by your personalities, and that's how algorithms are made. So what your content will need to do is target different interests in the audience you're looking for. What is your audience interest, basically? The other thing I have is identity based content. So targeting those people not only on their actions and their hobbies, but also who they are. People love to connect with others who are similar to them. So their interests, their identity, who they are, what they do, how they market themselves, how they see themselves, are all just a few of the things that make us who we are. So if you can connect with who we are with other people, then it's going to be really important. I covered a lot of this. I covered a lot of this principle in the how to market yourself video. So check that out if you need more information on this. If you can connect with the identities of people and their interests, then your stories will also relate to them more. So a lot of the content that we already listen to and watch and engage with are all story based content. Stories have driven the world since the beginning of time, so they're pretty important. And knowing how to tell a story to the audience that you're trying to tell the story to is going to be really helpful in making yourself successful. Sharp paced videos are also very important because they keep the viewer's attention. We are in an attention economy ever since this new digital media age, and it is all about getting people's attention. It is what drives success in this social first economy. Music is also helpful in that as well because videos people won't really be interested in if the sound isn't great, isn't engaging, and isn't pulling them to want to watch the full video. So if your videos aren't fast enough, aren't moving fast enough, aren't transitioning, and the story that you have isn't progressing enough, then it's not really going to succeed. Another content idea I have that relates to this is opinions. So if your opinions aren't engaging enough and aren't fast enough and how you're progressing what they are, then they might not be engaging enough for people. Opinions are great because they make people think, they make people decide where they are on the spectrum. Politics are so divided because political issues split people up, even when answers to issues in the political world might not be as simple as one solution or another. Dividing people up dehumanizes them and they make people a part of a group because it is either one side or another. Opinions are great, and if people can already relate to you with all the other things I've already mentioned, then they're going to trust your opinion more. And if they can trust your opinion and relate to that, then they're really going to connect with you. People are going to trust you if you're a community leading member. Another successful content idea is self deprecating content. Comments rule social media. So if you can get people to have a reaction to your video and feel as powerful enough about that to comment or interact with your video, then that is the first step in becoming successful. Self deprecating is good because of that, because everybody has their own flaws. So self deprecating content is the first step in creating relatability between you and the person that's watching your videos at home. I also have two best ways of creating interest through stories. And these are really popular among some of the most famous media content creators you've ever seen. So the first one is causation. And what this means is that people create a problem in the first 5 seconds of their video, and then they talk about what the cause of that problem is. So, bringing up the fact that a problem exists and is relevant in our community, and then going over what causes that is going to be important in informing and educating people. Causation also connects well with the things we just talked about. So, being relatable, if you're talking about causes and things and problems that you're experiencing as a community member, then talking about the solutions and talking about the things that cause those problems, it's going to be self-deprecating, it's going to be relatable, it's going to be educational, all of those things. So the other best way I have of creating interest through stories is problem and solution. So just like I talked about introducing the problem first, it's also going to be important in problem and solution. So with solution, you can also talk about causation. What is the problem? What caused the problem? And then how did you find the solution to that problem? It is a full hero's journey. So you start with a normal person talking about the problem they start with, the growth to come to the solution, and then the final solution and how that looked and how it became. Having the content proposition of the problem in the beginning part of the video is going to be super important because of the interest based algorithms and the identity based algorithms. The algorithms are looking for what your content is and where it needs to push it to. It's going to be very important to have your content proposition in the beginning of the video because the algorithms need to find what your video is about. If it needs to watch your full video to figure out what that is, it is probably going to miss the audience that you're looking for. And there goes your marketing. This is why videos with music and voiceovers are so important because the algorithms figure out very quickly what your video is about and where it needs to push it to and who you're trying to market to and what your audience is. So it's all very important that you have these basic steps and basic ideas integrated into how your video content creation looks like. The next section I have is how to find where your content will succeed. So the first thing I have for this is to find a community, nest yourself in, and then let the leaders, the people that are always involved, always trying to create connectivity and create membership in the groups, teach you how to get involved in the group and in their community. Two ways of doing this can be through referrals, finding community members and leaders, and finding out how you can connect better with the community, what other groups are they in, what other communities are they in. The other is micro niche open forums. So basically breaking down exactly what you're looking for. I talked about finding your subgenres in the other video, and it's going to be very important in finding your exact micro niche and your artist hemisphere and diving into the communities like that you'd be interested in. There's all sorts of Facebook groups, Discord channels, subreddits that you can join and find the exact people you're looking for. Really breaking down exactly who you're trying to be. Once you immerse yourself in these communities and really become a part of them, then you reach out to the community leaders and moderators themselves. These people, like I said, are trying to connect everybody together. So when you're already reaching out for them, they're gonna love it because their job is usually to do this. It's like if you came to a marketer and said, "I'm your target customer for this product. Sell me what you have of this product." It'd be amazing because they're already doing their job for them. You're already meeting these community managers halfway because they enjoy communicating with these communities, and you're saying, I want to communicate with these communities too. How can I do this? How can I help you? And how can we help each other? Because I want to be more involved. And they love this because they like the community being involved. So it is a perfect relationship when you're finding the moderators, the people that are in charge, the people that are leading by example and by leading by what they do, and creating a friendship with them. In the How to Reach Out video I did, episode 2, it's going to teach you exactly what to say to these moderators when you reach out. So go check that out if you need more information on this. According to the HubSpot Video Marketing Report of 2025, short form content has the highest ROI and is number one for lead generation and engagement. Making content, short form content, towards these communities or sharing short form content from other platforms to these communities and sharing stories, educating, showing relatability, showing interest based content, all of the things we just talked about. Sharing these to these communities is going to be important and showing them that you are want to be included in them. The last category I have for finding the best audience for your artist profile will be tips about making the best content you can. The most successful content include a 3-second hook, and in that hook, a content proposition. So talking about what the content is going to be, and then quickly moving on to why you're talking about that. 4 types of hooks you could make would be relatable, kind of like the self-deprecating thing we talked about earlier, or just showing them a different side of you would be a great hook. Aspirational, showing them what you're aspiring to be, is also relatable. Aspirational is important because with the hero's journey, everybody is trying to grow. Everybody wants to see other people grow and want themselves to grow. So, showing them what you're aspiring to be and what your aspirations are is going to be helpful. Curiosity gap is also another great hook idea because, just like with the growth thing, people are always trying to learn. So, letting them know in the first 3 seconds what your content is going to be teaching them is going to be very helpful, and rewarding them with what the content is going to be about. The other hook idea I have is being inclusive. So, like right off the bat, talking about your identity, talking about interests is going to be super inclusive to the people and the communities you're already looking to engage with. As far as what to say in the hook, one idea could be the rule of 3. So, the 3 best ways of doing this, the 3 things you haven't heard of. As far as other things to say in the hook, leave a comment and let me know other successful ways you've seen content engage with people through the hook. The last tip I have for making the best content is that avoiding risk leads to irrelevance. That is why all of these celebrities continue to take risks in what they say and what they do. So, what I mean by that is go out, take risks, learn, because it is the only way you are going to progress. So, in this video, we talked about what content does best, how to find where your content will succeed, and what tips are great in making the best content. Let me know what other ideas I missed and what other things you can think of that are helpful in creating community leading engagement. And the last statistic I'll leave you with is that the Wiesel Video Marketing Report of 2025 said that 93% of marketers had a strong ROI from video content. So get out there, make videos, take risks, learn things, and become better, because The better we are at communicating with each other, the better society will be as a whole as we continue into the new digital media age era of AI. So, anyways, thank you to everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Happy holidays.